if you don't want to spend too much money on a smartphone that's made of metal, but still want some good specs and a device that is super thin, then you want to take a look at this. It's the Oppo F1, and we've been using it for a short amount of time and have got a pretty good impression of what it's like to live with this very cool smartphone every day. Now, when we say it's well priced, it costs about £180 in the UK. If you're in the US, you probably don't want to buy it because the 4G LTE band support is different and you won't necessarily always get 4G connectivity if you're in the US. Everywhere else in Europe and in the UK, you'll be fine. The device you can see here is compact. This is a 5-inch screen and has a 720p resolution. It runs Android, but it's Oppo's own version of Android, so it has Color OS over the top. Now, there are a few differences here which we wanted to highlight. The first is, as with many Android phones like the Oppo, there is no app drawer, so all of the apps are spread across the main screens here. There are quite a few pre-installed apps. For example, there's Oppo's own cloud storage system. None of these are uninstalled, they can't be uninstalled, so you're going to have to live with them. And there are some bizarre choices like this lock now button, which locks the phone. Quite why that's there, I really don't know. But it does give us a chance to highlight a few of the gestures which Oppo has put into the system. It has an LG style tap to unlock the phone there, bring up the main screen. We go back to the lock screen again. You'll also notice there's no shortcut to the camera, which was quite frustrating. You'll get it on almost every other Android phone. So what Oppo has done has given a gesture control. So what you do is you draw a circle on the screen like that, and it opens up the camera app, which is fine, but it would be nicer if there was just a shortcut on the home screen, even if it's just there as well as the gesture control. Otherwise, there are a few other changes within the notification shade here, but it's not really 1,000 miles away from regular Android. The other difference we're not quite sure about is the use of these soft keys down here. Normally, when you'd push this button, you would have your open apps, but you don't get that. You get this sort of ability to move around apps on home screens, add effects and change themes. If you want the list of open apps, you have to hold down the button and then get the chance to close everything. It took us a little bit of working out for that change to how we'd normally use Android. Those things aside, the phone is very, very fast. It has an octa-core Snapdragon processor inside. This is a 720p screen, but it looks really nice, although it could be a little bit brighter. But the phone itself is gorgeous. It's really thin. I think it's less than 7mm, or certainly about there. It's super light. You do not notice when this phone is in your pocket. This is a metal chassis on the rear. These are plastic parts, the top and bottom, but outside of the slight shade difference, it doesn't notice too much. And it's a very, very comfortable phone to hold. Oppo have managed to match the 2.5D curve of the glass on the front with the rear panel here. So it's super comfortable in the hand. And it's very, very nice the way that they've managed to get the power button there just in the right place for normal sized hands. My hands aren't huge, so it's the way it is. And if you're wondering why every time I open the screen there are a different set of wallpapers on there, this is an Oppo feature, and there are all sorts of different ones that pop up every time you unlock your phone, from ones like that and the cars you saw earlier to sporting ones and ones of cities. Sometimes they're a little bit odd and I probably wouldn't use it if I was in a meeting. They may give away a very different impression of me. But that said, the Oppo is a really nice smartphone. It's the first in Oppo's F1 series, so we're going to see other phones that are like this from the company in the future. We really like it, and it's a very, very good price for what is a super comfortable and very attractive Android smartphone. You can check out the full review of the Oppo F1 on Digital Trends right now.